welcome to the stage, Michelle Young.
Thank you. We're going to go in a little bit of a different direction now. Listen, if anybody's bringing sexy back, it's not going to be me. I'm a little bit awkward. Here's how bad it is. I broke a dildo. And for anybody who's ever had sex with or worn or packed, or even if you've just held a dildo in passing, then you know they're not designed to break. I was in a long-distance relationship, and my girlfriend was coming for a visit. And she said, "Hey, I think it'd be really cool if you pack sometime." I'm 50 years old, and I thought to myself, I think I know what she means. But I froze inside because I'm not good at the sexy stuff. But I'm also not a quitter. And I said, "You can do hard things." And I did a little bit of research, and I found a queer-friendly sex toy store in Chicago. And I walked in and I met Martin. And I love gay men. They're fun, they're nice, and they're helpful. And when you're an awkward 50-year-old lesbian, you need to depend on a gay man to help you with a dildo. Or anything related to dildo management, as far as that goes. And I was there quite a while because Martin knew his stuff. So I bought 2 dildos. My first dildo was an impulse buy. It was a glow-in-the-dark light blue dildo. I liked the color. Don't judge me. And when I got it home and I pulled it out of the bag and it kept coming and coming, I realized that this was a $65 investment that I was never going to get a return on. And over the years, I've shown it to some of my lesbian lovers, never on a first date. And they laugh and they say, "What were you thinking?" And I say, Martin was a great salesman. He had a vision, a dream. He believed in me. Once he sold me my never-to-be-used dildo, we moved on to the task at hand, my packing dildo. And he said, "Have you ever packed?" And I said, "Martin, look at me." And we both laughed. And we spent quite a while, and we narrowed it down to 2 soft dildos. And he said, "Let's go to the mirror." And then he said, "May I?" And I said, "Sure." And he held each one up to my cargo shorts. And of course I picked the bigger one because go big or go home, right? So he said to me, "You have to name her." And I said, "Well, she shall be called Princess Leia." And then he got me a harness, and as I was leaving the store, he yelled, "May the force be with you." So to take you back to the beginning, and I know it's been a journey. My girlfriend was coming for the weekend, and I was on a packing mission. And we were going to Ravinia. So yes, I decided that my first packing experience would be at Ravinia. And halfway there, I knew that this virgin packing voyage would be a mistake. The harness was cutting into my legs, and I thought I might die. And as we got there to see Janice Ian, who had one hit in 1966 at 17, I looked around and everybody and their grandma was there. And I knew this was not the time or the place for packing, but that ship had sailed. We hauled all our stuff in, we had the long walk, and I was kicking myself as we set up our picnic because I had brought the low chairs. And it's hard to get in and out of those chairs on a good day, but when you're in cargo shorts, a harness, and a dildo, soft or not, it's not ideal. And there was never a good time to tell her I was packing. It was 90. Nothing I was wearing was breathable, and I was dying. And she loved Janice Ian. At the end, she's like, we've got to go in the meet and greet line. And I stood there with the old lesbian sweating my ass off in my harness and my dildo. And finally, I said to her, at the end, we walked away with our autograph book, and I grabbed her and I kissed her. And I put her hand on my pants. And she backed away, shocked, eyes wide open, and said, I can't even believe this. And I beamed with pride at my ability to endure. We drove home and we laughed the whole way. And when we got there, I took off my cargo shorts to assess the damage that the harness had caused. And that's when I noticed something much worse. The journey that Princess Leia had been on, the mission. She had been up and down and rubbing and back and forth. And when I took the pants off, she was hanging by a thread. I had broken my dildo. I was not bringing sexy back. The force was not with me. But here's the thing. I thought about Martin. He was my friend. I'd already invested a lot. And I went back to that store and I shared the story and we had a good laugh. But he sold me the perfect purple dildo and another soft packing dildo. And I have to say, if you need anything, depend on a gay man. They'll never lead you wrong. Thank you.